Shocking, my coworker's affair with the boss cost me my promotion, but then I exposed the truth. The office was electric that day, whispers danced in the air, swirling like a summer storm ready to burst. Samantha never expected her life would spiral into chaos so quickly. Just hours before, she had a promotion within her grasp, the corner office shining with opportunity. But beneath the fluorescent lights, a secret smoldered, waiting to ignite. Her heart raced as she overheard hushed tones from the break room. "Did you see how close he was to her? It's disgusting." Someone muttered, the disgust palpable. Samantha felt a tight knot in her chest. This was more than gossip, it was a scandal brewing beneath the surface. The strange tension thickened, stretching like a taut wire, ready to snap. Everyone was on edge, casting sneaky glances to the boss's office. Amanda, Samantha's closest friend, her partner in coffee runs and weekend plans, sat astonishingly still, eyes glued to her phone, a shadow of guilt crossing her face. Why wasn't she engaging in the commotion? Then it hit her, like a freight train roaring through her mind. Amanda, too, was in on it. The illicit affair with their boss was as insane as it was devastating. The very thought sent chills down her spine, hardening her resolve. Would she have to sacrifice everything for someone else's secret? As Samantha dug deeper, she stumbled upon disturbing details: a late-night text, an unexplained absence, and the unmistakable scent of betrayal that now clung to Amanda. The walls felt like they were closing in, every glance from her colleagues laced with suspicion. Just then, a voice interrupted, thick with uncertainty. "You heard about the fallout from the last promotion, right? Someone must pay." Words bounced in Samantha's mind, fueling an insatiable urge to get to the bottom of this mess before it swallowed her whole. "Hey, before we continue with this amazing story, I need to give you an important heads up. Many subscribers have reported that YouTube unsubscribed them without warning. Take a quick second to check the red button below to make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. I'd hate for you to miss any of the exclusive content coming soon. And while you're there, smash that like button, it really helps me out with the algorithm. Oh, and tell me in the comments, which city are you watching from? I love getting to know every amazing person who's part of this community. Your participation makes all the difference. Let's connect." Samantha felt a surge of determination wash over her as she pulled out her phone, ready to document everything. The first message she discovered was a chilling confirmation of betrayal, an innocent snapshot revealing Amanda's hand resting on their boss's knee during last week's office party. Soon, it wasn't just a scandal, it was her lifeline. Could she expose Amanda and save her own career? Just as the pieces began to fall into place, Samantha's heart raced at the realization that she might not be the only one seeking vengeance. A figure slinked past her cubicle, discomforting in both intention and secrecy. Who else knew the truth? Would she be able to confront them before it all unraveled around her? The first domino had fallen, and now the question lingered, heavy as a lead weight: who would come out on top in this web of lies? Samantha's heart pounded like a drum as she scrutinized everyone around her. Anger and desperation warred inside her. She needed to act. The hallways felt narrower, the air thicker as she navigated through her office of treachery and deceit. Each glance at her colleague sent a ripple of paranoia through her. Nerves sparked in her fingertips, but she steeled herself. This wasn't just about her anymore. This was survival. She slipped into the women's restroom, locking the door behind her. Her reflection stared back, eyes wide with a mix of fear and steely resolve. With a few taps, she saved the incriminating photo, the evidence that could topple Amanda from her pedestal. Samantha's chest constricted again as the thought of betraying a friend, her closest ally, stared her in the face. But Amanda had thrust her into this chaos, pulling the curtains tight around her own betrayal. Suddenly, a knock echoed through the small room. "Samantha? Are you in there?" It was Amanda's voice, sweet but sliced with an underlying question. Anxiety gripped Samantha. Had Amanda somehow sensed her plan? They had always shared secrets, a sisterhood built on trust, but now that bond felt like a chain dragging her deeper into a pit of lies. "Just a minute." Samantha called back, her voice surprisingly steady. She felt the heat of betrayal wrap around her heart like tendrils of smoke. She could hear Amanda's muffled voice on the other side. "You okay? Everyone's been acting weird." A lump formed in Samantha's throat. Did Amanda really not know? Either she was a master of deception, or this was the final act of her carefully choreographed charade. As the seconds ticked by, fear of getting caught intensified. Samantha mustered her courage and whispered to herself, "I have to protect my future." If Amanda had risked everything, would Samantha do the same? She took a deep breath, preparing to confront the storm brewing outside, when an unexpected sound shattered her moment of reckoning, the faint buzz of her phone vibrating in her pocket. With a shaking hand, she slid the device out, and her heart sank. It was a message from an unknown number. "I know what's happening. Meet me after work. I can help you." Panic flooded her veins. Who was this? Did they know the depth of the chaos? Footsteps echoed in the hallway, and Samantha felt her breath quicken. Ignoring the creeping fear, she texted back, fingers moving on instinct. "Who is this?" But the relief of hitting send was short-lived as Amanda's voice broke through her thoughts, a taunt wrapped in concern. "Samantha, are you sure you're all right?" A slow realization dawned. Someone else was playing a dangerous game, and they could expose everything. It was a ticking bomb, ready to detonate, and Amanda was inches away from finding out what Samantha had just uncovered. "Almost done," Samantha replied, forcing a smile she didn't feel. But a flicker of hope ignited. She might not have to face this alone. Yet the shadow of doubt loomed larger than ever. As she stepped out of the bathroom and into the fishbowl atmosphere of the office, Samantha felt the weight of eyes boring into her. She had to find out who was pulling the strings and, more importantly, how she could regain control of her destiny before it spiraled completely out of her grasp. Would she be able to confront Amanda before all would be lost? Or would the truth, once exposed, pull her deeper into the darkness? Samantha walked out, the fluorescent lights buzzing overhead, casting a harsh glare on her anxiety-ridden skin. She could sense the gossip radiating from her colleagues, whispers curling through the air like a noose tightening around her throat. Faces turned towards her, expressions torn between curiosity and judgment. Each smile felt like a mockery, a dagger sheathed in false concern. "Are you sure you're okay?" Amanda's voice sweetly cut through the murmur. She stood there, poised, hair cascading over her shoulders as if she were a goddess. Samantha swallowed hard, the lump still lodged in her throat. In this moment, could she really take down the person she once considered her ally? "Just tired," Samantha replied, forcing a smile that felt foreign. "Ready for the big meeting?" "Yeah, I hope we'll be able to present something impressive." The subtle way Amanda watched her, studying her like prey, made a chill creep up Samantha's spine. Did Amanda suspect? The minutes dragged on, each tick of the clock amplifying the tension between them. Samantha's mind raced. What if that unknown number meant chaos? What if their support came at too high a price? Just as the meeting was about to start, her phone buzzed inconspicuously. She glanced down, heart racing. It was a reply from the unknown number. "You'll regret not taking my offer. Come alone." Regret? What did that even mean? The ominous words coiled tighter in her mind. As she slipped the phone back into her pocket, a new wave of uncertainty washed over her. She felt adrift, like a boat without an anchor, tossed about by the storm surrounding her. The conference room door swung open, and everyone filed in. Amanda took a seat at the head of the table, and Samantha followed, choosing the far side. The atmosphere was thick, a cauldron of hopes and hidden agendas. Everyone wanted to impress the boss, but the price of maintaining allegiance was steep. As the meeting began, Samantha fought to listen. It was like watching a movie where she didn't know the plot. As Amanda presented a project they had worked on, Samantha's thoughts spiraled. Had Amanda taken credit for her ideas? Was she using their collaboration to further her own agenda? Heat rushed through her veins. Suddenly, Amanda's gaze flicked to Samantha. A knowing smirk danced across her lips. Right, Samantha? You remember how we put this plan together? Samantha's heart pounded. The whole room turned to her, waiting. Sure. Her voice cracked under the pressure, and every bit of confidence wavered like a wounded bird trying to fly. But I think we could incorporate the feedback Anna suggested last week. Amanda's expression hardened. We'll stick to the original plan, she snapped, the delight in her voice replaced with icy authority. The room fell silent, the shift palpable. Samantha's stomach churned. As the meeting dragged, so did Samantha's thoughts. Who could be trusted now? As Amanda wrapped up her presentation, Samantha caught a glimpse of movement across the room. One of the interns, Jake, a keen observer, met her gaze. A silent understanding passed between them. He sensed the tension too. When the meeting adjourned, Samantha hastily slipped out, desperate for air. Out in the hallway, she fished out her phone again, heart in her throat. Time was running out. I'll meet you, she typed, fingers trembling. Where? Before she could send the message, footsteps rushed behind her. It was Amanda, fury radiating from her. Where do you think you're going? The walls felt like they were closing in. Samantha's mind swirled, the stakes had just risen tenfold. The clock was ticking, and the darkness between them grew. What's happening, Sam? Amanda's voice dripped with desperation cloaked as concern. You've been acting so strangely. Did you really think I wouldn't find out? Samantha decided. She could either hide or fight back. And her answer could change everything. What truths would unfold next, and would she have the strength to face them? Samantha's heart pounded in her chest, a frantic drum echoing in the tense silence between her and Amanda. The icy stare of her former ally made the air around her feel thick and suffocating. I just need some air, Samantha managed, her voice barely a whisper. She tried to brush past Amanda, but Amanda stepped in front of her, arms crossed, staring her down like an adversary. Don't play games, Sam. We both know something's off, Amanda challenged, her tone lowering like a predator ready to pounce. There was a glimmer of fear in her eyes but not nearly enough to mask the anger. What are you hiding? Samantha felt the weight of the world on her shoulders. Her gut twisted. I'm not hiding anything. I just need to think. Think about what? Your loyalty. Amanda scoffed, her voice mocking yet tinged with an edge of vulnerability that caught Samantha off guard. At that moment, the fluorescent lights above flickered ominously. The tension hung heavy like a storm cloud, electrifying. A memory flashed in Samantha's mind. The shared laughter over lunch breaks, the late nights of brainstorming. But now there was a chasm between them, filled with unspoken accusations. Are you really that blind? Samantha shot back, the words spilling out before she could filter them. You've been sidelining me since we started this project. Did you think I wouldn't notice when my ideas suddenly became your vision? Amanda's face paled, disbelief crossing her features. For a moment, she looked startled, like someone had just hit her with a truth she couldn't deny. You think I do that? You're delusional. Am I? Samantha pressed, emboldened. This isn't just about you and me. You think I didn't see how quickly you jumped up the ladder? Or how much you suck up to Mark? To get ahead, you'd stab anyone in the back, even me. The mention of Mark, their boss, felt like throwing gasoline on a fire. Amanda's face reddened. Do you want to drag him into this? It's not my fault you're falling behind, she spat, the desperation in her voice clawing at her composure. Their words echoed off the walls, attracting curious glances from passing employees. Gossip was swirling, and it stung. A knot of anxiety twisted in Samantha's stomach. She didn't like being the center of attention for all the wrong reasons. But if Amanda wanted a war, Samantha would fight. To hell with this, Samantha said finally, her resolve hardening. I have to go. Before Amanda could retort, Samantha barged past her, almost colliding with Jake outside the conference room. He looked alarmed, concern etched on his face. Sam, what is going on? I saw the argument. Just give me a minute, okay? She didn't want to drag anyone else into the chaos. Are you sure? He stepped closer, lowering his voice. That whole presentation was tense. You looked like you were ready to explode. I'm fine, she lied, trying to focus. But the phone in her pocket buzzed again. With a glance around to ensure Amanda wasn't creeping up on her, she pulled out the device. The message from the unknown number was blunt: there's more at stake than you realize. Meet me tonight at the old cafe on Main. Come alone, trust no one. A chill slithered down her spine. It felt like a trap, but the urgency was overwhelming. What if this was her only chance to find answers? Sam. Jake's voice pulled her back. Be careful. Running her fingers through her hair, uncertainty wove through her thoughts. She either needed to confront Amanda about her betrayal or find out more about this mysterious offer. Each choice held heavy consequences. As she weighed her options, the world around her blurred. A voice, low and demanding, echoed in her mind. The clock is ticking, and the darkness is deepening. Samantha's hands trembled. This was a decision that could change everything. Would she unravel the hidden agendas or walk blindly into an even greater threat? The weak light before her flickered, hinting at the danger waiting to be unleashed. What awaited her at the cafe? And would she dare to face whatever truth lay hidden there? Samantha stood on the edge of the sidewalk, her pulse racing faster than her thoughts. The old cafe on Main, shrouded in shadows, loomed before her like a haunted house. She gripped her phone tightly, willing herself to focus. The world felt distorted, as if a heavy fog clung to her mind. What if Amanda was right? What if she was really losing herself in paranoia? But the message had struck a nerve, awakening dormant fears swirling in her gut, hidden secrets and whispered betrayals. She took a deep breath, the chill in the air biting through her coat. As she stepped closer to the cafe, the soft glow from the inside flickered through the worn windows. A few scattered patrons sat at tables, their conversations hushed like they were part of some covert operation. Her mind was a whirlpool of possibilities. Who could it be? A disgruntled employee wanting to spill secrets? Someone who worked with Amanda? Or perhaps someone who knew too much about Mark? Pushing the door open, the bell chimed softly, cutting through the ambient chatter. She instantly felt the warmth wrap around her, but it offered little comfort. Her gaze swept the room, searching for the mysterious figure she expected to see. An empty booth in the back beckoned her. She took a seat, her eyes darting around for signs of danger. The server ambled over, snapping her attention back. What can I get you? Just a water, she replied, forcing her voice to calm. As the waitress walked away, her heart began to pound once again, this time laced with anticipation. Minutes felt like hours as she sat alone. Doubts crept in like shadows. Had she made a mistake coming here? Suddenly, the door swung open. A tall figure wrapped in a long coat entered, his face obscured by the brim of a hat. An electric jolt shot through her chest as he walked toward her. There was something unsettling in his aura, as if he carried burdens heavier than any of them could imagine. Are you Samantha? He asked, his voice low but firm. Yes. She cleared her throat, her palms sweaty. Who are you? Someone who knows about the ambition lurking behind closed doors, he said, sliding into the booth across from her. And someone who can help. What do you mean? She asked, leaning in. Her stomach tightened. She had the growing feeling that this conversation would tip the scales of her life in ways she couldn't yet comprehend. There's a lot at stake. You're not the only one who has noticed the changes at work. Amanda's play for power isn't as simple as it seems, and neither is Mark. Samantha's chest tightened. What do you mean? He leaned forward, lowering his voice. There's a broader scheme at play. Amanda's been feeding information, and it's not just about the project. It goes deeper. Trust me when I say this, there are people who would do anything to keep their secrets hidden. Even if that means ruining lives. An icy dread curled in her gut. The vision of Amanda and Mark flashed before her eyes, two shadows smirking in the background. What do I do? She whispered, her urgency palpable. The man smirked, a grim look on his face. We need proof. You're going to have to dig deeper than you're comfortable with. There are eyes everywhere, and you'll need to be careful. Just then, the door rattled open again. In walked Amanda, her eyes scanning the room. Elation and panic waged war within Samantha. Could she really trust this stranger? Or was she stepping right into a trap laid out by Amanda's calculating schemes? Time's up, the man said, his eyes locking on hers with an intensity that sent shivers through her frame. You'll have to decide fast, before darkness envelopes everything. Samantha felt a shuddering thrill run down her spine as Amanda approached, a force of nature with motives masked by a charming smile. The depth of the deception starting to surface terrified her. The stakes had risen far beyond a promotion or a friendship. It was about survival now. But would she confront Amanda or dive deeper into the dark web unraveling around her? The true game was just beginning. What had she unwittingly signed up for? Samantha's throat went dry as she watched Amanda striding confidently toward her. The cheerful clinks of coffee cups and muted laughter faded into a distant hum. Amanda was a lion in a den of sheep, and in that moment, Samantha felt like fresh prey. Hey there. Fancy meeting you here. Amanda's voice was bubbly, as if they were old friends sharing a laugh. But the way her eyes glinted made Samantha's skin crawl. There was no warmth there, just calculation. The stranger across from her shifted slightly, his posture tense. They were trapped in this awkward triangle, a web of suspicion and deception tightening around them. Samantha needed to think fast. She couldn't let Amanda see her fear, not now. Instead, she forced a smile, trying to sound casual. I was just grabbing a quick drink. Oh really? I thought you'd be busy at work, you know, with the deadlines looming. Amanda's sweet tone dripped with sarcasm. Just hope you're not getting too distracted or maybe losing your focus. The man's eyes flickered to Samantha, concern etched on his face. She realized he was reading the room, gauging Amanda's motives as closely as she was. The blood rushed to her ears. What if he was right? What if Amanda had been plotting this all along? I have some ideas I wanted to discuss about the project, Samantha said, unwilling to back down. I think we should collaborate more. Collaboration is such a kind word, Samantha. It implies equality. But sometimes, one person just knows better. There was an edge to Amanda's smile that made her words sting. Before Samantha could respond, the waitress returned with her water, shattering the tension, if only for a moment. She glanced at the man, who gestured with a barely noticeable nod toward the exit. It was as if he was pleading with her to escape, but why? Did he know something? Excuse me, Samantha said abruptly, trying to sound brave despite the quaking in her stomach. I'll be right back. She needed air. The cafe felt suffocating now, the walls closing in. As she stepped outside, the early evening chill embraced her like a slap in the face. She could almost hear her heartbeat thundering in her ears, drowning out the noise of the world. There wasn't just Amanda to be wary of. The man in the booth could be just as dangerous, masquerading as a friend. What kind of help did he offer? She glanced over her shoulder back into the cafe, her stomach twisting. Amanda was still seated, her gaze fixed on the door, fingers tapping on the table in a rhythmic pattern that made Samantha's neck prickle. Focus, Samantha, she whispered to herself. You need to find out the truth. Moments later, the cafe door swung open, and the stranger stepped outside. His expression was grave, shadows deepening around his eyes. Are you okay? Do you work for Amanda? The question burst from her lips before she could stop it, her heart racing. Are you setting me up? He threw his hands up defensively. No. I'm here to help, but you need to listen. They are watching you. You might be the only chance to expose Amanda, but you'll have to trust me. Trust, she scoffed, her pulse quickening even more. You just walked in here, and I don't know you from Adam. Why should I trust anything you say? He stepped closer, lowering his voice. Because Amanda has something dark up her sleeve, something far worse than a simple office rivalry. And it's coming for you. If you're not careful, you'll be its next victim. Samantha's heart sank. How deep had Amanda really dug her claws? Could this stranger actually help her? Fear and doubt warred within her. In that moment, she felt the weight of the choice before her. Was it worth risking everything to dig deeper into the truth? Or would she pull back and accept the danger? The night loomed ahead, uncertain and foreboding. She took a deep breath, readying herself for what came next. Tell me everything, she said, her voice steady despite the tremor in her hands. But just as he began to speak, a chilling shriek pierced the air, a voice she recognized all too well. Amanda! She gasped, her heart dropping as she turned back toward the cafe. What had just happened? The night was far from over, and the danger was only just beginning to unfold. The sound of Amanda's scream echoed through the evening air, sharp and gut-wrenching. Samantha's breath hitched in her throat, she couldn't comprehend the sudden shift in reality. Every instinct screamed at her to run, to hide, but her legs felt glued to the ground. What was that? The stranger's voice was a rough whisper, his eyes darting back toward the cafe's entrance. Before he could react further, Samantha took a step forward, propelled by adrenaline and an insatiable curiosity. There was no turning back now. She pushed through the cafe door, scanning the room for Amanda. The lively atmosphere had dissolved into chaos. Patrons were rising from their seats, some gasping, others rushing to the corner by the coffee bar. There, on the floor, Amanda lay sprawled as if she had fallen from a great height. The color had drained from her face, and her eyes stared blankly towards the ceiling, the vibrant personality she wielded so fiercely now extinguished. Samantha's heart pounded as she rushed past the onlookers. Amanda! She called out, her voice cracking. She fell to her knees beside her former friend, feeling the cold tile press against her skin. Panic clawed at her chest. What had happened? A crowd formed around her, murmurs rippling through the curious onlookers. Someone call 911. Shouted a middle-aged woman who had previously been sipping on a vanilla latte. Is she breathing? Samantha pressed a trembling hand to Amanda's neck, searching for a pulse. Nothing. Logically, she knew she should feel fear, but all she felt was a desperate whispering panic. She couldn't drag her eyes away from Amanda's still form. The stranger burst through the crowd, kneeling beside her. Check her airway, he urged, his voice tense. We need to get her breathing. He moved swiftly, tilting Amanda's head back, his hands steady despite the chaos surrounding them. Samantha's mind raced. Did Amanda truly know something that was worth risking her life over? Or was it something even darker? She shuddered at the thought, conflicted between the troubled memories of their rivalry and the dire reality now unfolding before her. Suddenly, Amanda's body convulsed, and her eyes fluttered open, a sharp gasp escaping her lips. Relief flooded through Samantha, but it was short-lived as Amanda's gaze snapped towards her, wild and panicked. Stay away. She's coming for you. The words sliced through the air like a knife. What do you mean? Samantha felt her heart sink, dread pooling in her stomach. But Amanda's body grew tense, her limbs fighting against the weak grasp of life. Before Samantha could process Amanda's warning, a loud crash erupted from the back of the cafe, breaking through the frantic murmurs of the crowd. A tall figure emerged from behind the kitchen door, a shadow suspended in the dim light. Samantha's bones chilled as they locked eyes with the figure. It was a familiar face, but twisted with malice. It was Amanda's confidant, the one person she'd never expected to see here, the one person who could unravel the delicate threads of Samantha's carefully constructed world. What have you done? The shadow growled, stepping closer, confidence radiating in every step. Samantha turned to the stranger beside her. "Who is that?" she whispered, fear crawling up her spine that he looked equally stunned and shaken. "That's Amanda's partner in crime, the one you didn't know about." The realization punched her gut. There was no escaping this confrontation now. How far would they go to protect their secrets? Were their lives hanging on the brink of moral collapse? As the figure drew nearer, Samantha stood, determination sparking to life. "We have to get out of here," she urged, grabbing the stranger's wrist. But as they moved to leave, Amanda let out another desperate cry, "Don't. She's already here." A bead of sweat trickled down Samantha's back. The night was just beginning, and the real threat had only just revealed itself. Samantha's pulse quickened as the figure took another step forward. She felt the stranger's grip tighten around her wrist, grounding her even as her mind raced with fear. The cafe felt smaller, the walls closing in. She glanced back at Amanda, who writhed on the floor, as if trying to point a warning at the figure approaching them. "Let us move," the stranger said, pulling her toward the exit, but Samantha hesitated, torn between saving herself and the instinctual need to protect Amanda. The shadowy figure loomed larger, its features becoming clearer, a smirk twisting across a familiar face. "You think you can escape? You have no idea what you're dealing with," it sneered, venom lacing every word. Samantha's thoughts spun as she recalled the long hours spent at work, the sideways glances exchanged, and the whispered conversations just beyond her earshot. There was more to Amanda's world than she ever realized, and now it was becoming dangerously real. "Who are you?" Samantha found her voice, shaky though it was, a mix of defiance and despair. "What do you want from us?" The figure laughed, a chilling sound that echoed off the cafe walls. "You really don't understand, do you? Amanda was never meant to be a part of this world. You'll wish you'd stayed away." Just then, Amanda shouted again, her voice sharp and painful, "You don't know what's at stake. You don't understand the price of secrets." The crowd around them buzzed, a mixture of fear and confusion in their eyes. Some had pulled out their phones, capturing the drama unfolding. A woman near the back whispered, "Should someone do something?" Samantha's heart raced. Amanda's words sunk in deep, each layer of tension wrapping tighter around her chest. What secrets had Amanda unearthed? How far had she gone to protect them? And what plans did the figure have? Before she could ask more, the stranger yanked on her arm, pulling her toward the back exit. "Come on." But instead of following him, Samantha made a choice. She turned, facing Amanda's confidant. "I'm not afraid of you. If Amanda's in danger, I'm not backing down." The figure's amusement faded, replaced with a flash of anger. "Foolish girl. You don't realize who you're protecting. This isn't just a game." With those words, it lunged toward her. The movement was swift, and horror clenched at Samantha's stomach as she braced for impact, but just as the figure reached her, Amanda gasped louder, "Stop." The command sliced through the air, halting everyone in their tracks. "You don't want to do this." The tension was electric in that moment. Samantha could see the shift in the figure's expression, a flicker of uncertainty. "You think you can protect her? After everything?" Amanda struggled to sit up, pushing against the cold tiles, the fight igniting in her eyes. "I know what you've done. You think you can control everything, but you're wrong." Samantha felt a glimmer of hope. Could Amanda rise from this? The tension hung thick as she held her breath, waiting for the next move, unable to look away from the confrontation unfolding before her. Just then, the sound of sirens pealed through the air, a shrill reminder of reality. The distant wail of emergency vehicles grew louder. The figure's brow furrowed, panic threading into their features. "I didn't sign up for this," it hissed, stepping back, the confidence draining away. Samantha exchanged glances with Amanda. The very air around them felt charged with impending choices, and everything was about to collide. "Run!" The stranger urged, but as they turned toward the exit, Samantha hesitated again. Could she really leave Amanda behind? In that heartbeat, they were left facing the reality of their choices. What would happen next? Could the truth be unveiled before anyone was lost forever? The sirens grew closer, and the shadowy figure looked ready to fight or flee, blurring the lines of their tangled lives. And just like that, any hope of safety slipped away. Panic gripped Samantha as the air crackled with uncertainty. The figure stood frozen for a fleeting moment, the equations of power shifting like sand beneath their feet. She could see Amanda straining for breath, trying to muster the strength to counter whatever threat loomed over them. Shadows danced on the walls, stretching heavily as if the entire cafe held its collective breath. "Amanda," Samantha called, desperation firing her resolve. "What do we do?" Amanda's lips curled into a grimace as she struggled to speak. "Trust me, we need to stall, keep him talking." The figure, clearly shaken by the approach of sirens, shifted its stance and leveled a glare at Samantha. "You don't even know who you're challenging. You think you can stand between her and me? You'll be the one to pay the price." A low murmur swelled through the crowd, some folks inching closer in a mix of morbid curiosity and concern. Others merely recorded, oblivious to the danger that coated the air. One man in the back finally stepped forward, "Someone should help." He shouted, but his voice wavered laced with fear. "No." Amanda gasped, her hand clawing at the ground, desperate to rise. "Don't get involved. This is our fight." The figure smirked again, a twisted glee rising to the surface. "You see, even your friends know enough to back off. You're in over your head, girl." With a rapid breath, Amanda's voice pierced through the chaos. "I know what the secrets are, and I'll expose them if you don't back off." The figure's face darkened, but the creeping sound of sirens caused a flicker of something unrecognizable in their icy demeanor, a hint of desperation, perhaps. "Secrets?" The figure scoffed, masking their turmoil. "You think knowledge gives you power? You've chosen to open Pandora's box, and you might not like what you find inside." Amanda's small frame trembled, but her spirit flickered with a fierce light. "We'll see about that," she hissed, the fight deep within her igniting flames of determination. The sirens were almost upon them now, an ominous reminder that help was close yet so far. Samantha felt the urgency in her bones, every moment stretching as she prepared for the next confrontation, each passing second amplifying the sheer madness surrounding them. Suddenly, the exit doors burst open. Officers in uniforms flooded the cafe, shattering the tension as they surveyed the scene. Samantha's heart surged, hope flaring brightly, only to be met with a chilling realization the figure remained poised, a predator unwilling to back down. "Let's see how tough you are against the law." The figure spat, rebuffing the officer's authority, inches away from detonating an explosive confrontation. "What's your name?" one officer demanded, stepping protectively in front of Amanda. But the figure turned, emboldened. "You think badges scare me? You have no idea what I'm willing to do." Before anyone could react, they lunged again right at Samantha. Samantha's world clanged to a halt, adrenaline surging through her veins. Time slowed as she watched the figure's hands claw through the air, driving toward her. A gasp escaped her lips at the undeniable fear crashing down like a wave. Then, as if the universe conspired in her favor, she felt a force pull her back, a hand grabbing her wrist firmly, yanking her to safety just as chaos spilled forward. "Get down!" the officer barked, his voice cutting through all the noise. Samantha glanced around to see panic erupting, plates clattering and people screaming. The figure glanced left and right, weighing the growing wall of officers, their transformation from predator to prey instant and palpable, but in that sea of chaos, lost among the shouts, something caught Samantha's eye. A glimmer of silver on the floor. She bent low, heart pounding, and grasped a metal object. A flash of realization crested like a wave. This could be their ticket out. This was at the moment to make a choice. Would she confront the figure or retreat to safety? As the sirens reached their peak and voices clamored, uncertainty swirled around her like smoke. But deep down, a fierce fire burned. Samantha's grip tightened around the metal object. Would she unleash the truth or flee before the storm consumed them all? The figure twisted, ready to retaliate, and Samantha stood, resolute. The line had been drawn. And then Amanda's voice rang out, "You don't have to do this. We can beat this together." But as certainty mingled with dread, a chilling thought slithered into her mind: what if this was just the beginning? The consequences of their choices loomed ahead, and the truth seemed almost as dangerous as the figure chasing them down. Would they uncover the secrets that could change everything, or would they become casualties in this perilous game? Samantha stood her ground, a whirlwind of emotions surging through her. The metal object in her hand felt alien, a lifeline in a storm. Amanda's voice echoed in her mind, words meant to unify but now felt like a bridge between chaos and clarity. Whatever was happening had gone far beyond office politics. They were tangled in something much darker than her ripped promotion or Amanda's pride. "Listen!" she shouted, her voice fighting against the clamor around them. "We both know there are secrets we can't ignore anymore. But we need to confront this together." The figure paused momentarily, taken aback. Samantha seized the moment, adrenaline propelling her forward. "You think you can threaten me? You really have no idea who you're messing with." The figure snarled, fists tightening. "You think you're special? You've just opened a box that was better left closed. You're not going to win." Fear and fury melded within her as clarity surged. "Maybe I am. Secrets have a way of coming out, and so do the people trying to bury them." Just then, the police officers advanced, hands raised, their authority slicing through the impending chaos like a hot knife through butter. They started to form a protective wall around Amanda and Samantha. The figure's bravado began to falter, desperation flickered like a flame about to be snuffed out. "Don't make this any harder than it needs to be," one officer warned, eyes narrowing. "Step away from the women." Samantha felt the relief wash over her like a warm tide as backup surged in. But lurking beneath was a nagging sensation: what if this wasn't over? What if this was merely the beginning of something much worse? "It's not about winning," the figure spat, backing into a corner as police closed in. "It's about survival. You think this is just an office affair? This is a fight for shadows you can't even imagine." Amanda, trembling on the ground near Sam's feet, finally found her voice. "What do you mean? What are you talking about? Mark isn't who you think he is. And I'm not the true threat here." New resolve fueled the figure's words as they eyed Samantha. "You're walking into a deeper game, one that could cost you everything. Then let us expose it." Samantha shot back, emboldened. "All of us, right here, right now." With the police closing in, the figure began to crumble. "You won't make it out," they warned, their bravado evaporating like mist in sunlight. Amanda turned to Samantha, fear and determination mingling in her eyes. "You know what you need to do next. We need to speak our truth and let everyone hear it. We can't hide behind shadows anymore." Samantha felt a swell of solidarity surge between them despite their fractured friendship. "You're right, Amanda. If we face this together." Before she could finish, the figure made one last desperate lunge toward the exit, but officers swiftly apprehended them. "Let go. You don't know what you're doing." Samantha's heart raced as the figure was dragged away, their threats fading into the distance, lost in the deafening sounds of sirens and chaos around them. "Are you okay?" Jake's voice brought her back as he rushed to her side, relief flooding his features. His eyes darted from Amanda to Samantha, concern etched on his face. I think so," Samantha managed, though her chest was still tight. "But it's not over. There's still so much we need to uncover about Mark and what all this means." As the cops began gathering statements, Samantha caught a glimpse of the figure being led outside in handcuffs. A part of her felt triumph, but the turmoil of uncertainty lingered, heavy and persistent. "Each choice shapes our path, right?" Jake said quietly, drawing closer. It's time we take control of our own. Looking at Amanda, their shared past flashed between them, betrayal and camaraderie fused with a desire to find redemption. "You're still my friend, even through all this," Samantha said, her voice steady. "Let us promise to get to the bottom of this together." Amanda nodded, fragile yet resolute. "Let us do it. No more hiding." As they stood amidst the chaos, their futures were unwritten but filled with possibilities. They could expose the dark alleys of deception, connect the dots, and reclaim their lives. They had survived. And now, they had a choice to rebuild. The weight of what they faced was massive, but unified, they could challenge the shadows that lingered. "Let us go," Samantha said, the strength of her voice echoing in the dim light. "We have a truth to tell." And with that, they stepped forward together, ready to unravel the tangled web they had once feared. Together, they would fight. Together, they would win. This was their moment, and nothing would stand in their way. If you enjoyed this thrilling conclusion, you need to subscribe now. This is the moment to show your support. Smash that like button now to feed the algorithm and help us reach more amazing viewers like you. Flood the comments section with your reactions and theories about what just went down. And don't wait even one more second to share this video with at least 5 friends who are dying to see this conclusion. Your support means the world, and only true fans understand how vital it is to keep this community growing.